Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 22. So today's my third live, because if you watched my first one today, is that I stopped doing them on Friday because so Saturday, I took my day to myself. I didn't do anything. I did very little things. I did a few things, work things related on Friday, but for the most part, I didn't do a whole lot of work stuff because Fridays and Saturdays are my days off, and I'm trying really hard to make sure that I'm taking the Fridays and Saturdays off unless I'm hosting a workshop or a retreat. And so trying to make sure that I'm keeping those days for me and my own personal development and whatever it is that I need to do for me to replenish, to reconnect with me, try and get some errands done and do stuff around the house and that kind of thing. But I didn't even do anything around the house either. I really just took Friday and Saturday and just did my own thing. So I really enjoyed that. So that was good and much needed and allowed me to be able to kind of pick up and take up where I needed to be. And then on Sunday, I decided that I wasn't hopping on, and I could have hopped on in my PJs because I have. But I didn't hop on in my PJs on Sunday. I actually just took the time to be able to just do some of the things that I needed to do to get ready for Sunday of next weekend, because I didn't have any clients scheduled for Sunday because I do work Sunday afternoons typically, but I had no clients booked in for Sunday afternoon, which is good because it allowed me to be able to get some of the other things done that I wanted to be able to get done for next Sunday. So I was able to do, so I got some pamphlets ready, and I got some other things that I've shared on my Facebook page, on my business page. And so I got a few of those things done, which was actually kind of neat. So I got that stuff done. And so I didn't hop on live. So today for the challenge, but I still wanted to make sure that I was still doing the challenge. And so I decided, no, I'm just going to hop on 3 times on Monday, and which is what it is that I'm doing. So today is municipal election day in our area. And so, but I saw somebody from the States that was talking about voting today. So I'm not sure if municipal elections actually is both in Canada and the US. That would actually be kind of cool, but I don't know. I just know that there is some voting happening in the US, or at least parts of the US, because Tracy Lee posted today that she went out to vote. She had her little vote sticker on. So yeah, so if you are supposed to be voting today, then get out and vote. It is so important for your voice to be able to be heard. And even if you don't really know, because I know that that's a lot of things that people say, oh, well, I don't really know. And so then vote for who it is that you think maybe, right? So you definitely would have heard stuff and you would have seen stuff. So definitely put something out there. And so that's like really important. So my son is, this will be his first municipal election, my youngest son. And so I'm going to be taking him out to vote shortly. So that either me or my husband, one of us will be taking him out to vote and getting him out to the polls before 8 p.m. And so that's actually kind of cool. So yeah. Hey, Miranda. So something that I'm proud about that I did is what the prompt is for today. And so there are so many things that I am proud of that I've actually been able to do. And so one of the things that I'm going to, yeah, I think what I'm going to actually talk about, I actually had a couple of ideas and had a couple of thoughts of like, oh, maybe I should share this and maybe I should share that. And there are many things. But one of the things that I'm going to share that I decided that just now is that I am going to share about something that I'm proud of is being a mom. I am extremely proud at the way that things have turned out for my boys, although things are not perfect and things are not amazing, and that there are some or actually I shouldn't say amazing because my things are amazing, but I mean, things aren't exactly the way that as a parent we have all these plans and all these intentions of whatever it is that we want to happen and how we want things to unfold for our children, and life doesn't always take us that way. And so something that I'm really proud of that I did is that I raised two amazing young men, and both of which have their talents, both of which have their strengths, and they are truly remarkable. And I know that I'm a little bit biased, but I really honestly believe that they are truly remarkable. They have, there was a little bit of struggle with one of my kids through his teen years, and there's still some things that him and I don't always see eye to eye on, but he's done really, really well. And same as my oldest one, we didn't have any difficulties with him growing up. There was he was one of those easy peasy kids that just kind of smooth sailing, a little bit of attitude through teenage years, but other than that, that was actually pretty, that was just a little bump in the road, and that was actually pretty good. And so he's been working at the same company since he's 17, because he started in high school, and so he's still there. And so that's actually kind of cool. And he doesn't like change, so he's not likely to switch companies. He's likely going to stay with the same company forever and ever, and ever amen. So, which is good, and that's fine. And so, but my other son, and the reason why I decided that I was going to, because like I said, there's so many things that I am proud of that I've actually done that I could talk about or that I can share. But being a mom is something that I am extremely proud of. And so, and the reason why I decided that this would be the topic, the thing that I would actually talk about, is that this afternoon, so during Monday Whispers Chat today, is that we're talking about children with exceptionalities. And so Casey's had some challenges in school. He's had some difficulties in school. He's had challenges with his with explosive moods. He's had challenges with learning. And those are some of the things that I can honestly say that I am super proud of being able to have advocated for him so strongly, because those were the things that we needed to do. And so from the time that we knew and recognized that there was something going on, is that I was always advocating for what it is that he needed and doing the things that I needed to do as mom. And some days those are hard. So when you've got this kid who's having a massive temper tantrum because he doesn't want to read or doesn't want to do his homework, and you go to the teacher and say that, okay, there's a problem, and I know that there's a problem, and their response is, yeah, well, that's just a behavior thing. He's just trying to get out of doing his homework. And so that was very disheartening, because I'm the one that was sitting at the kitchen table with him in complete tears when he was doing a simple task. He was reading, and all he had to do was take whatever it is that he wrote, or whatever it is that was written, and add a capital letter and a period at the end. And he had to copy the rest. That was his homework. That was the only thing that he had to do. And this kid was absolutely in tears, unable to take that sentence and write it out, from adding the capital letter and the period at the end. He could not transpose those letters, and that was torture, and that was painful to watch. And then to go back to and this is speaking to the special ed teacher, and so speaking to the special ed teacher and saying, like, look at it, there's definitely a problem, and having to go and get the assessment done out of pocket, because our school board should have paid for that. And quite frankly, our school board did not pay for any of his assessments. All of his assessments were all done out of pocket. And the reason for that was because even after he was identified and they needed to upgrade, they would say that his case, he didn't have a high enough need compared to the rest of the kids, despite the fact he had an educational plan. So So that was something that I could actually say that I was really proud, and that I'm proud. I'm proud of being able to have done, being able to help advocate so that we can actually help him figure out what it is that needed to be done and how he needed to be able to learn and be able to advocate with the teachers. And again, I know that his attitude was challenging sometimes, and his moods were explosive, and there were some really difficult moments in the school day. But when everybody followed the plan and worked with him, things worked really, really smoothly, and it was so much easier than, and not just allowing him to get away with things, because that's a whole different issue. So we certainly didn't want him to be able to get away with things, but we wanted him to be able to have the ability to learn. And one of the things that when he was diagnosed, when his first assessment was that his IQ was superior. So I don't remember what the IQ numbers were, but I just know that his IQ was superior, at a superior level. And the teacher had called me up saying, okay, you know, he probably shouldn't be in my classroom because it was a more advanced classroom. We should probably put him into a different classroom. And so when I said to her, you know, and she didn't say that he wasn't smart enough, but she insinuated that he wasn't smart enough to be in this more advanced program. And when I said, well, that's really funny, because I just got off the phone with psychometrist, and the psychometrist, and again, I knew what the number was back there, and I don't know what it is now, but I knew what the IQ number was, and I said, this is his IQ, and the psychometrist told me that that meant that he was at a superior level. And from that point on is when I started getting help from the special ed department, that he wasn't just behavioral, that there was definitely something that we needed to look at, and we needed to be able to help him figure out what it is that was going on. And then in grade 3, one of the things that he shared with me is that, because what he ended up being diagnosed with was dysgraphia and dyslexia. And so one of the things that he was able to tell me in grade 3 was that the words moved on the page, and he had a really hard time being able to keep following what it is that he needed to read. And so that exercise, when he was in tears in grade 1, trying to transpose one sentence over to the next, explained lots, right? So it's like, here's this kid who can't even focus on being able to get one thing out. And so just really, really important for us to be able to listen to our kids. Our kids have the wisdom that they need to be able to, they might not be old enough, and they may not be wise, but they definitely have some wisdom. They definitely have some knowledge. They definitely have some understanding of what works for them. And being able to find ways of being able to help them learn is incredible. And so I am proud of that. I am proud that I am a very strong advocate for my son, as I do know some other moms that are actually those strong advocates for their children. But that's one thing that I can actually say. I'm a huge, strong advocate for what it is that my children needed, and worked really hard at making sure that they had the opportunities to be able to learn and to grow. And so that's my gratitude for today. So that is one of the things that I am extremely proud of. And I guess before I go on live, professional page, I should probably move my towel off my dress or off my chair. So that is, so yeah, I'm a proud mom. I'm a super proud mom. So what is it that you've done that you are extremely proud of? And love to hear. Bye for now. And I'll see you tomorrow for the rest of the challenge. I won't be back on today. I'm done until tomorrow now. Bye. See ya.